everybody, welcome to a small Baltic country, Lithuania, and the most famous resort in the Baltics, Palanga, which is located on the shore of the Baltic Sea. For the 17th time in a row, the biggest motorsport event in Eastern Europe takes place here once a year, the Eneos 1,000 kilometer endurance race. This is definitely the biggest endurance race in the Baltic states. Teams and racing drivers from all over the world come here to race and fight for the wonderful trophy. There are not much more than 10,000 inhabitants in a small Lithuanian resort in the Baltic seaside, Palanga. But during the race, the resort welcomes 10 times more tourists. It is totally impossible to book a hotel in Palanga during the race weekend. People from all over Europe come to Palanga for the 3 days of racing to enjoy the race, to support their best teams and their beloved drivers. There are 42 teams on the grid of this year's Eneos 1,000 kilometer race in Palanga. The teams come from Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Russia, Great Britain, Sweden, Belgium, the US of A, Israel and the Netherlands. There are 142 racing drivers. BMW is the most popular racing car used in Palanga race. Many years in a row, this has been by far the most popular car manufacturer to participate in Lithuania endurance races. This year, 19 teams out of the 42 have used BMW as the racing car. Racing weekend starts on Thursday with a big opening ceremony in the center of Palanga. A big parade with all the racing cars is heading to the main streets of Palanga. The life in the city simply stops as all of the racing teams occupy the main street. One very impressive tradition always enjoyed by the crowd is the dynamic super sprint, some 50 meters drag race in the middle of the city. Smoke, sound and many emotions for all the fans.
What's the expectation for this year?
Well, every year we say we're going to win this race, but it never happened so far. So that's our main goal, and I think we can have a good shot at it because there are a lot of Porsches. Of a couple of Porsches, same types. So I think the competition will be tough, but I think we have a good chance.
What are your expectations for this year race?
I think finish the race without any problems and then for sure top 10, I think so. We hope so.
But you are capable to do that?
Yeah, I think so. And we're going to try to do it better.
We changed from the BMW to the 911 of the reason that there is not so many time between Palanga and our 24-hour race in Zolder. And for the preparation, it will be too short to make the car ready again for 24-hour race. For that, we changed in the team to another car, and we had a Porsche. And we know that Porsche is good here in Palanga, so we will try it for the first time. In 2010 was the last time that we won the race. We were at third and we were at second. So now it's time that we can try again to go for the winning.
Okay, however, the fun part is about to be over as we are moving to the drama in the circuit. During the first 2 days, there's a lot of free practice. Many drivers are new and even the track is quite simple. It is very important to properly adjust the car and prepare for the race. Sadly, but the first practice was not lucky for the oldest team. Core User Racing team driver American Jim Brody is the oldest on the grid. He's 72. Lithuanian veteran racing driver Stays Brunza is a bit younger. He's 69. The junior in the team is Dutch Core User. He's just 61. All the teams together is by far the oldest. They are 202 years old. They had to race the Marcus Mantis, but sadly their race was over during their first practice. Mr. Stays Brunza had crashed just in front of the pit lane. It is the first time in my 54-year-old racing career that the car spun so suddenly. I had no time to react, no time at all. On the braking, I was downshifting and maybe I did it a bit too early, so the wheels were blocked. Moreover, one wheel was on the painted asphalt and it was very slippy. Maybe because of that, it spun so suddenly that I even did not have a chance to react. I am embarrassed, and it is a shame that I crashed such a nice car. I am sorry. The driver was checked by the medics, but everything was fine. He came unhurt and could continue. Meanwhile, the team will have to switch to their spare car, BMW Compact, but it is not very quick and not capable to fight for the good result. So, back to the qualification. Qualification consists of two parts. First is a 30-minute session when all the teams have to show their best lap time. After that, only 10 best teams go for the 15-minute Super Pole session. On the first part of the qualification, it is very hard to make your best lap because there are all 42 teams on the track, so there is simply no space for the really good clean lap. But the first and the main thing during the first part of the qualifying is to get to the Super Pole. Super Pole started with the surprise from Broom Broom Sport. Their BMW M3 Big Daddy was by far the quickest, but not for long. Suddenly after the first few laps they stopped on the track. They ran out of gas. Marius Slabivicus was the quickest on the grid, but the team miscalculated the quantity of fuel used and they missed few drops to get to the gas station. They were able to just watch how all the others were going faster lap by lap. But there was only one team who was able to overtake Broom Broom team. It was the car and MVP by Allegretti and their Aquila CR1. One of the most experienced racing drivers in this track, Lithuanian Ramonas Kapukas, set the fastest time and got the pole position for the team. Broom Broom Sport has got the second. The third place was held by the General Financing Team Pit Lane and Porsche 911 GT3 Cup. It was Jonas Gelzinis who took the third qualifying time. Jonas is participating in Porsche Carrera Cup UK this year, so Porsche is like home for him. I think I'm sure that during the race we will not go so quickly lap by lap. That was our maximum, but if the race is going for 9 to 10 hours, it is impossible to go max attack during all the race. 1,000 kilometers is a long distance, so we're not going to keep this speed. Also, there'll be much more cars on the track, not like in Super Pole. For us, the main thing is to keep the car running. There are many really strong competitors today. We were surprised by the Broom Broom Sport BMW. They were the second in the qualification. There are a few strong Porsches, but we all know that in the race, not the quickest wins. So, we will see. So the winning team celebrates. It is time to make a small celebration as they will get their first trophy even before the start of the race. Anyway, it is a good proof that they can be quick, that they are potentially quickest on the grid, and it is a good remark for everyone, for the competitors and, more importantly, for the fans. Also, it is the perfect motivation for tomorrow's race. There is one tradition in Palanga that the three quickest teams, the qualification winners on the main stage, get the trophies from the Lithuanian Transport Minister's hands. So all 42 teams are heading for the start of the Eneos 1,000 kilometer race in Lithuania. The oldest team will start from the last place because they did not participate in the qualification. The team was preparing the spare car. Some information about the track. One racing lap is 2,682 meters long, so the entire 1,000 kilometer distance of the race consists of roughly 373 laps. The first 1,000 kilometer race in Palanga was held 16 years ago, and there were 18 teams on the grid during the first race. The record was 8 years ago. In 2008, there were 78 teams on the grid. The quickest race was in 2001. 1,000 kilometers, the first team drove in 8 hours and 52 minutes. Now, according to the rules, there is a time limit to cover all 1,000 kilometer distance. It must be done no more than in 10 hours. It was 3 times that the race had to be stopped because of the exceeded time limit. It is a standard street circuit that is used by normal traffic all year round, and only once per year it has been closed for the racing. So it might be slippery in some places, especially in corners where the new asphalt was put just before the racing weekend. This race has few traditions. First of all, before the start, all participants are being hallowed by the Lithuanian Air Forces. 2 airfighters are congratulated by all participants, the teams, and the fans just before the start. This race is very important for the country. It can be seen by the simple fact that Lithuanian Prime Minister comes to tell just a single phrase which has been used for ages.
Ponios ir ponai, užveskite variklius.
And ladies and gentlemen, please start your engines. There are not many ladies in the race, just the 2 of them. All other 140 drivers are men, but we will come back to the ladies very soon. Meanwhile, this is the track configuration. It is quite a simple track. Typical street racing circuit, just with one specific thing. The gas filling station is not near the pits, but on the opposite side of the track. This is an ordinary gas station which is working for the whole year round. Just 4 days per year, it is opened exclusively for the racing cars. The all-time best lap belongs to the Latvian driver Konstantin Kalgo. This year he is the youngest participant. He is only 22. 2 years ago he was racing with Radical SR8 and made the track record. But from the last year, because of the safety reasons, the open cars are forbidden to participate. Meanwhile, all the teams have already been moving to the start. They are on the warming lap right now. Another lap is the formation lap, so while the racers are warming up the tyres. The Eneos 1,000 kilometer race is called the Lithuanian Le Mans. It attracts up to 100,000 spectators during the race weekend. All the teams have already been forming the starting grid, and the race is going to start in a few moments. Safety car will leave the track in only just a few more moments. And welcome back to the Eneos 1,000 kilometer race in Lithuania. It is called the Lithuanian Le Mans, and it attracts up to 50,000 spectators during the race weekend. All teams have already been forming the starting grid, and the race is going to start. Safety car will leave the track in a few moments. This is it. The biggest race in Eastern Europe starts now. The first turn is crucial. This is the biggest chance for the incidents. Luckily, nobody is taking the unnecessary risk. All teams are very careful. They understand that there is no need to risk it all at the first corner. The race is long. It will be held for 10 hours, so one turn is nothing compared to 1,000 kilometer race distance. And immediately after the start, from the third to the second, comes General Financing Team Pit Lane. Black Porsche 911 with Sebastian Blakemullen at the wheel is up to second already. It has been the third year in a row where Blakemullen has been trying to win this race, but the first 2 times were unsuccessful. Maybe this time he'll get the fortune and he will win it. From the first place started yesterday's qualification winner, Ramonas Kapuskas in Aquila CR1 from Team Car and MVP by Algradi. He starts to run away from the pack of the cars. The leader of the race is still the same from the first meters, but the second place has just changed. The Broom Broom Sport with BMW M3 Big Daddy took back the second position very soon. They were the second from the start, but immediately lost it for General Financing Team Pit Lane, Black Porsche, which is driven by Sebastian Blakemullen. Not for long, just in a few laps after the start, the second and the third car switch again. Sebastian Blakemullen dropped to the third place. Maybe he made a mistake, or maybe it's a technical problem. Sebastian has been participating for the third year in a row in Palanga, but he was not successful enough to win. Last year he crashed out, and today and his teammates are fully confident and fighting for that win. It seems like Seb made a small mistake because now he's again closing to the green Broom Broom Sport Team BMW and trying to get back his second position. Meanwhile, the leaders are getting away. Every lap they are 1 second faster than the chasing teams and gaining the lead. Few laps after the start and the leaders are already overlapping the slower teams. Green BMW is getting closer to the leaders again. Last year they've got a big accident here in Palanga and did not finish, but this time they want to fight for that victory. And we've got the first accident. Or not the accident, just a small mistake from Ottomani Team Honda Civic Type, or the driver made a mistake and got stuck in a very dangerous place. This is a sharp corner and it's very narrow, so it can be very dangerous. The driver's desperately trying to move away, but it seems that he cannot find the right gear. At last, he can move backwards. Luckily, nothing happened and the car is not damaged, so he will be able to continue. That's great news. Here is the leading car passing stacked Honda. Oh, and here is the accident. What happened? Seems that it's just a driver error, nothing serious, and lucky escape for the Ottomani team. He did not even touch the barriers. And so we're back to the leaders. Aquila and BMW M3 are in front and they are separated just by less than 2 seconds. They are fighting for that first place. The third car, Porsche, driven by Sebastian Blakemolen, is in the third, but it has dropped back a lot. Do they have any problems? And Aquila again ran away from the chasers and now it's comfortably in the lead. Despite that, they have the number 13. They have been quickest so far. Some say that number 13 is unlucky. So far, so good. Not for the Aquila and the car and MVP by Ilgaradi Racing Team. We have plenty of time till the finish line and plenty of laps still to go. Anything can happen, of course. We have the first hour left only. So far so good. We are doing everything according to the plan. We are driving very carefully. We take care for the car. Soon I'll have to jump in. I hope that everything is going to be okay. Usually there are a lot of incidents and accidents during the first hour of the race. Everyone wants to go as quick as possible. I'm very happy that this year we have the inspection. Everyone is very careful and we have not got any accidents yet. I hope that all the teams will make it to the finish. During the start, my heart just stops. But as I see the green flag, I'm alive again and I'm able to carry on. So, the first hour of the race has already gone. Time is really flying here, and the teams are getting ready for the first driver change. Broom Broom Sport Team is preparing for the change. Marius Slavivicus, who is racing now, will come to the pits soon. Ex-rally driver and ex-Latvian rally champion Rukas Krovicus is going to change. The team has big expectations for this year. After disastrous last year race, they are fully confident to fight for the win. The third driver is Denius Matkodakis, who last year won the third place in European Le Mans Series in the LMP3 category. And the fourth driver of this team is Dugas Tovilakas, who won his class in the 24-hour race in Dubai 2 years ago. The team shows the drivers to go to the pits, and that is going to be the first team that will change the drivers. A bit early, but team has their own strategy. So Team Broom Broom Sport is coming to the pits for the driver change, and they will lose their second place. Wheels are changed and they're ready to go. Few extra seconds they lost in the pits, but they can carry on, and one of the most powerful cars on the grid is back on track. The fastest diesel so far, Remo Team with the diesel-powered BMW, has problems with the cooling fan. It is not a serious issue, but they will lose lots of very expensive seconds. The Remo Team was leading the diesel class in Palanga. They have won their class here a few years in a row. By the way, 2 drivers in this team have already won the Eneos 1,000 kilometer race here in Palanga. Martinis Samutis and Robertus Kupkis did that. But Rimas Blazunius was not that successful. He was the only second, so he's lots of expectations to fight for the win this year. Sadly, this stop will cost him a few laps, which will be very hard to compensate. And it's a crash! It's a crash! That's a big one! Big crash for the Honda Civic Type R of the MK Technica team. Their Hondas crashed to the barriers without a front wheel. Oh, that looks like it was a big impact. Look where the drivers found the wheel. Gunatis Slavikas is a professional rally driver who races in Lithuanian Rally Championship with Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10, but here he was sitting behind the Honda Civic wheel. And that's huge disappointment for the driver and the whole team. It is only 2 hours from the start, and this is it. Looks like the race for them is over. Now the rescue car will come and take care of the car. Meanwhile, the safety car is out and the gas station is on high demand. All places are occupied. And check it, all 3 leaders are in the gas station at the same time. The first, Aquila, the second, Black Porsche, and the third, green BMW. They're all in the gas station. And we still have the safety car on the track, and the cars have not been evacuated yet. But Aquila is still in the lead. During the safety car phase, all the leaders are changing drivers. Palanga Spa Hotel by EMG Motorsport. Steve Van Belligan jumps out and Tom Van Ropew jumps in. And the leader of the race also stops for the change. Ramonas Kapuskas is leaving the car and Devidas Jokias now will continue. It is interesting how far back they'll drop from the leading team. And the leading team is having the first problems. Their Aquila has the starter problem. Car can be started only by pushing it, but not by itself. It is a very dangerous thing because if they stop on the track, it is possible that they will not be able to go back by themselves. Anyway, Ramonas Kapulkas does not look very tired and he is quite happy. And what a race we've had so far. And here are the new leaders. The general financing team pit lane and his leader Sebastian Blakemollen behind the wheel. They are also ready for the change. Jonas Gelzinis is ready for his stint. So one professional Porsche driver will change the other one. This team has maybe the strongest driver grid, but the best drivers not always mean the best results. Oh yes, very quick change, and they're back on the track. Meanwhile, Honda Civic has been rescued, and soon the safety car will be out of the track, and the race will continue at the full speed. Okay everybody, we are back. Welcome to the biggest endurance race in the Baltic States, the Eneos 1,000 kilometer race in Palanga. Half of the distance has already been covered, and now we can see that drivers are changing in Jutta Bauer rally team, but it is not the rally. It's an endurance race, and here's the interesting fact. You can now see that Ramonas Kapuskas is sitting down in the car, but he just 1 hour ago was driving the lead Aquila car. According to the rules, all the drivers can participate in 2 different cars, but he must drive in both of them at least 1 stint. So Ramonas from leading car jumps to the old BMW to help his other team to get a better result. And here is one of the leading teams, General Financing Team Pit Lane. Jonas Gelzinis has just come out of the car. Sebastian Blakemollen is driving the black Porsche 911. He has just entered the fueling station and will fill in the gas. They are the second overall for now, and they're losing a bit more than 1 lap for the leaders. There are 3 drivers in the team, but 2 of them are working as hell as they are, as fast as they can. Sebastian Blakemollen is a very experienced endurance driver. Now Jonas Gelzinis is partaking in the Porsche Carrera Cup UK. 3 years ago, he came second in the British Championship. but he made 1 year break and this season he came back. This season for the young Lithuanian it is more difficult. He's been lying the 8th overall so far. The third driver has not driven the car yet, but he'll have to drive it soon. It is a rally raid driver, Benedikt Vanagas. Last year he was the best privateer in Dakar Rally, but the circuit race is not his priority. He does just one circuit race per year, and it is, of course, the race in Palanga. We cannot afford to make any tiniest mistakes here. Right now we're the second and we're 1 lap behind the leaders. But our advantage is that we have a later driver change and we will have a full tank. We hope that after the second stop the situation will change dramatically. Now Sebastian is driving very well and we're happy with the situation. And here is one more rally driver's team in Palanga. They have some electrical problems. The stoplights are not working, both of them. It took almost a half an hour for the team to fix the problem. Luckily, they can continue to the finish. Oh, and here we go. One more accident. It's the same team again. They crashed it again. Luckily, it is a small incident and they can continue again. This is the Honda Civic from MK Technica team, the same that crashed in the first hour. The teams fixed the car, but again they hit the barriers. Now here's what happened. That was a mistake of the driver. Nothing very serious, but they damaged the front of the car. They're lucky not to damage the radiator, so the car has just lost one headlamp and the front bumper is crashed. Now nothing serious despite the impact, which looked like it was a bit hit to the wall. Now back to the action. Everyone is in the gas station because the safety car is on the track again. And the leading Aquila, look, they have to wait in a queue and this will cost them precious seconds. What a mistake. They could come to the gas station on the next lap. Oh, that is gonna cost them a lot.
Well, now we're gonna follow. We're gonna see for the next 2-3 hours what is coming, what is going out. So we keep this distance between the leaders, and then we see for the last couple hours if we can push more to get 1 or 2 positions in the win. It's not so warm, but it's humidity in the car, and also a Porsche is very hot inside.
That's right, today is not very hot, but humidity is high, and it is a big challenge to race in a car for an hour. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. But not only men are racing in Palanga, we have 2 ladies, and this is how they feel. I've just jumped out of the car. It was my first stint. For now, I'm happy with the performance. It is very crowded on the track, and you have to check both sides because there's a lot of slowers, but also many faster cars. So you have to think all the time, not only about what you're going to do, but also predict what others are planning to make. Do you think that it is the sport for the men only? In general, there are no women or men's sports, especially if we're talking about touring cars. Everyone can drive in touring cars. I think it depends more on psychology, really. Helios Sport Team was leading their class all the race, but only 25 laps from the finish line, the engine of their Honda has died and the team has had to retire. Sadly, this young lady could not make it to the finish this year. Now back to the action. The safety car again is on the track. We still have about 3 hours till the finish, and about the leaders. At the moment, the leader is same from the start. It is the number 13 Aquila CR1 from Car and MVP by Alguardi team. They are leading 1 minute in front of the general financing team Pit Lane Porsche. But we have bad news for the team fans. During the safety car phase, they were overtaking slower cars and they will get the penalty. Now this is going to be crucial. They're going to have a 1 minute stop and go penalty. That means they're going to lose 1 lap and that they're going to drop from first to second place. That is a very stupid mistake and misfortunate at the same time. Marshals are waiting to show for the driver black flag with the starting number. That is a really, really costly mistake. Oh, I imagine how angry the driver is now. It is Devidas Jokias, driver who's going to change very soon. We definitely asked him what happened. 1 minute of silence, 1 minute of patience, and now Aquila is already in second position. At last, good news, they can continue. Marshall has just let them go again. To be honest, I can't even imagine where I did that mistake, where I overtook during the yellow flags. Now, I imagine that I was on one place, the marshals told the opposite, so I really don't know and we'll try to find it out after the finish. Anyway, we've got 1 minute penalty and now our plans change dramatically. Now we must do our best. Ramonas is driving now. After him, it will be my stint. I have AC/DC on full volume in my headphones, so we'll charge my batteries and we'll go for the full attack. There is much time to make it to the finish, so anything can happen. Now we must improve more to catch the leaders. We heard that it's very hot inside the car. I just came back from the car and the thermometer showed 75 degrees inside, so it looks like it's a good sauna. Some teams have problems, but others do not have them at all. Just like the yellow and red Honda Integra. The team called the Wooden Wheel has a good time in Palanga. They are happy to participate. For the first time, they are here and everything works well for them, at least for now. 4 young drivers from different racing categories and a very happy team manager having a great time in Palanga, enjoying atmosphere and enjoying the whole weekend. Now back to the leaders. They are also having fun and the atmosphere now is much better. They are leading by more than 1 lap. Benedictus Venagas is driving now and they are comfortably in the lead. And yet another leading car is standing still and will be rescued from the track. This is Broom Broom Sport BMW M3 Big Daddy. They were the 4th before this. The car struck because of electronics. A very competitive car. They were the 2nd for more than half of the distance, then dropped to 4th, and now this. Oh, this is very sad, but they will lose lots of time now. The team is waiting and preparing to find out about the problem, but it seems to be electrical. They had similar problems before, and now it has happened yet again. And look at this again! Another incident! Now, nothing serious. It was not the barriers, but the hit looks very impressive. Honda Civic missed the braking point and hit the rock wool. This is the leading Porsche overlapping the 3rd place holders, Palanga Spa Hotel by EMG Motorsport. EMG Porsche has some problems with the gearbox. They sometimes miss the 2nd or the 3rd gear, but suddenly it works, and then again it is not working, so they cannot go the full speed. And Sebastian Bleikemolen does what he can do best. Go faster lap after lap. Now this is Broom Broom Sport. The team desperately tries to fix the car and tries to get back on the track. They know the problem. It is the pedal sensor. It's not working properly. They changed it, but it's happened again, so the problem lies deeper. Now closer to the finish, more teams will have technical issues. Team Hot Wheels also has a big problem. They have a problem with the rear differential. They are trying to fix it, but soon they will retire from the race. Oh, this is very sad because they were also from the top 5 teams on the grid. Now, Ignas Gelzinis, brother of Jonas, is sitting in the car. Jonas is in the leading Porsche now, and he has all chances to win. Meanwhile, his younger brother, Ignas, will have to end the race very soon. And back to the track action yet again, and there's more drama unfolding. The safety car is on the track again, and just in front of the safety car, Aquila came out of the fueling station, so the team is lucky to compensate the whole lap as the leading Porsche is stuck behind the safety car. So the fight for the first place is increasing. Now 2 leaders are on the same lap. A bit more than 1 hour left till the finish line, and let me remind you that we are watching the race in Palanga, small but a very beautiful resort of Lithuania just on the Baltic Sea shore. It is a street racing circuit which is built just for this race, just for 4 days of the year, and tomorrow ordinary cars will be able to drive again. But for now, it's all ours. It is the Lithuanian racing circuit mecca. Okay, green flag again, and the race for the win is still very much on. There the race leaders are escaping from the rest of the pack as the safety car has gone. This is going to be one of the fastest 1,000-kilometer race in our history. The leaders have not done any big mistakes. The weather is perfect, and we did not have many safety cars and many accidents. So the race is very quick this year. And it will be maybe the first time in 6 or 7 years that we did not have any rain. Not a drop. Okay, a small incident with one of the overlap cars. Nothing serious, that thank God, just a tiny touch of the barriers. So, we will come back after a small break and we'll see who's gonna win. Stay with us right here. We are back to the Eneos 1,000 kilometer race in Palanga, Lithuania, and here is the third place holder, international team. 3 drivers, one from the Netherlands, one from Belgium, and one from Lithuania, are in the top 3 position at the moment. All the weekend we've had problems with the gearbox. We've already changed 2 gearboxes after free practice and qualification, but the problem is still not solved. Sometimes the second gear, sometimes the third gear just disappears for a few laps and then it gets back again and we don't know where the problem is. Now, as I understand, the main goal for you in this case is to reach the finish line, is that right? Of course. It's only the goal for us. If we were able to finish, it would be like a victory for us. We're definitely not able to fight for the higher positions. Now, we just want to keep what we've got. But my prediction with these problems, we had to stop about 4 hours from the finish. We'll have to stop 7 hours in the race, and we still carry on. That's incredible.
Well, we're on a different strategy, fuel-wise and driver changing-wise. So now we're coming in, but yeah, it's one calculation to the finish, and hopefully we can make 1 stop less, 1 fuel stop and 1 driver change stop less, and then we possibly can get back in the lead. But it will be tight. It will be yeah, I'm very excited to make it to the finish. Well, now we're going to lose 1 lap, and well, Jonas will push really hard, and hopefully, probably I will get back in the car, and then they need to stop earlier for fuel and a drive change, the Aguila, and possibly we can get back into the lead, and then it's 1 race to the finish.
Why each year you're coming back to this race? What is so special about this race in Palanga?
Well, the track is really special, and I like all the fans out here. It's a race you must be here each year. It's my 3rd time. For sure, I will come back next year.
And look, that was the 2nd place holder team, but what do we have here? Here is the leader standing still. They were leading less than 1 lap after Porsche stopped for a change, and now they stopped on the end of the main straight. What has happened? If the engine is stalled, they have a big problem. All the race they had a problem with the starter, so if the engine is stalled, they will not be able to run it again without any help. Also, Palanga Spa Hotel Team Porsche stopped outside. What is going on? All Palanga team is in panic because of the problems with the gearbox. Maybe is it completely dead? No, they're continuing. Let's see what happened. Aquila was overtaking Core Ursur Racing BMW. That is the oldest team on the grid, and then suddenly they simply could not turn in the hairpin. The corner was too tight for the Aquila car. And the Core Ursur BMW also stopped behind them, but they can continue. Okay, so Aquila driver just could not find the rear gear. That's why they stopped. Okay, they are back in the race and they are still the leaders, but not by much. And this margin is shrinking dramatically after this mistake. Now, one more mistake, which will cost a lot. Those last seconds will be vital at the finish line. And those seconds were a very nice surprise for this black Porsche, driven by Sebastian Bleekemolen at the moment. He is making his last stint in this year's Eneos 1,000 kilometer race, and now he has started his final lap. This is the 3rd year in a row Sebastian is racing in Lithuania, and at last he is going to win the race. The team is prepared for the celebration, and boy oh boy how fast this race was. General Financing Team Pit Lane is gonna win the race, and they're doing it in style. Fantastic win! Not even the tiniest mistake they've done. Nothing. Benedictus Venegas, Sebastian Bleekemolen, and Jonas Gelzinis. Those 3 guys with the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup have won the Eneos 1,000 kilometer race in Palanga, Lithuania. And Jonas is a real talisman of this race. He has got the 6th win in Palanga, and this is the 3rd in a row. There is no difference which team he is a driver for. They are going to win with this young guy. Fantastic! Sebastian Blakemullen did it at last. Big cheers for him. Big cheers for the whole team. Great job, guys. Great job. And one more rule was confirmed again. There is not any team in all 17 years history of this race in Palanga who would win 2 years in a row. Big joy is also for the rest of the podium. Palanga Spa Hotel by EMG Motorsport. Number 21 Porsche can also celebrate. With the damaged car, they made it to the 3rd place. Great performance for Belgium, Ton van Ropuy, Steve van Bellegem from the Netherlands, and Lithuanian Nemenis de Gillis. And the glory drives through the pits and back to the start-finish line, where we will have a hot interview with all the winners. And of course, all the teams, all the fans will come to congratulate their favourites. Great achievement for everybody who made it to the finish. 1,000 kilometers is a long race, believe me, ladies and gentlemen. But this year, it was the shortest in Palanga history. The winners made it in 8 hours, 44 minutes, and 56 seconds. Now that is 8 minutes faster than the race which was held back in 2001. That is incredible. By the way, Porsche 911 is by far the luckiest car in the race. It is the 17th Palanga race and 10 times Porsches have won here. Incredible. Maybe the track suits best for Porsche cars. Who knows? So back to the winners and let's listen how they feel. But before that, another race starts. Race for the fans. Who will be able to congratulate the winners first? Teams, mechanics, journalists have their own race to the finish line. To be honest, this victory came very hard. Till the last meters, it wasn't clear who was going to win. We are very tired, but very, very happy. The team was just perfect today. After those difficulties, what we had yesterday, it is unbelievable what we have done here today. I agree, this year's race was very, very hard. I'm very critical for the mistakes, but during the race this year, we did not do even a little one. All the team was working as a Swiss watch. We had the best drivers, we had the best technicians, who yesterday night, before the race, had to change the engine after qualification.
Well, the last few laps were so amazing. All the fans were cheering and clapping, and yeah, to finish this race in first position, it's a dream for me.
We're very happy. We didn't expect it, to be honest. I think nobody expected that this car would make it to the finish. We still can't believe that we did it. Ambiguous feeling, the champagne, but we wanted to do better. But hey, this result is not bad too. Our car was without any problems the whole race. We did absolutely nothing to it during the race. Would be interesting to see what's going on under the hood now. 4 years in a row, we had big problems with the car and could not make it to the finish. But this year, it was just perfect. Just one problem. Rear view mirror broke down. We're very happy. I hope that this car at last will be reliable. And we still have one candy left, the first place. Next year, we'll try and get it. The car survived, but if you notice the last lap, we were just moving, but only just. But in general, everything was fine. The competitors were very strong, especially the winners. Sebastian and Jonas were incredibly fast. They proved that they are top-class drivers. We made some tactical mistakes, especially in the beginning when we let them go. After that, we were all the time 2 laps behind and had to keep the distance. But the fact that we took the 3rd place with this car and made it to the finish line, it really is incredible. After we changed 2 gearboxes, axles, some electronics, it's unbelievable. It is more than expected. I was sure that we were not going to make it. I thought 3 to 4 hours and that's it. But we made it, so everything is okay.
We are very, very, very happy with our place, and I think it's the maximum that we could do with the car, because it's our car was good, but not fast enough, because there were some things on the car that didn't work during the race. So we are driving like in the 70s, and now okay, we are very happy. So third place is very good, I think, and we are very proud of the team because they were working this night till 3 o'clock in the morning. They test the car this night and it was not good, and we are on the finish and we are on the third place. So I don't think we can say anything bad, and we need to be happy. So we're gonna party now and with the team.
So we are on the podium now, and here is where the party started. So the third place goes to Palanga Spa Hotel by EMG Motorsport Racing Team. Steve Van Belleghem, Tom Van Ropuy and Neminis de Gillis. They took the third place with Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car, and they left 4 laps behind the leaders. The second place goes to Car and MVP by Ilgradi Racing Team with Aquila CR1. Devidas Jokias, Ramonas Kapuskas and Andreas Jasonovskis. They made the fastest lap of the race, but were not fast enough. Some mistakes, and they left 2 laps behind the winners, but took overall the second position. And the winners, without a mistake, General Financing Team Pit Lane and Porsche 911 GT3 Cup, Sebastian Bleikemolen, Jonas Gilzinis and Benedict Van Nagas. They are the best today, and they have all the cheers. And the main cup for 1 year is going to the team office. Next year they will give it back and we'll have to fight for it all over again. The caps for the fans, and ladies and gentlemen, the champagne. And that's it again for 1 more year, folks. Thanks for watching. That was it. We leave you with the best moments of this year Eneos 1,000 kilometer race, and we hope to see you again next year. End of July in a beautiful city of Palanga in Lithuania. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.